Hey guys, it's Alicia. Today I've got a video about one of my favorite things, and that is desserts. Now if you're like me, you've got a sweet tooth, and you're always looking for something to satisfy that sweet tooth. So today I'm going to show you 3 recipes that I make quite a bit when I'm on Weight Watchers. They are low in points, they're easy to make, and they taste delicious. So let me jump in here and get started. This first one is for chocolate peanut butter banana ice cream, or as it's also called, nice cream. Now, I love this stuff. It is so good, and it's actually fairly healthy for you too, and low in Weight Watcher points. So it's one that I love to make quite a bit. You can definitely switch up the flavors if you don't like chocolate peanut butter. You can do plain, you can do with other types of fruit like strawberry, but this is our favorite, so this is the one that I'm going to show you. And it just starts off with some frozen bananas there. I'm using 4 and I'm just breaking them in fairly small pieces and putting them in my food processor. If you don't have a food processor, but you have a high-powered blender, you can do that too. My blender is kind of weak sauce, so I like to use my food processor. Here I'm adding in a 1/3 cup of milk. Now I usually like to make this with almond milk, but I don't have any on hand right now because I'm not going to the store as much. So I'm just going to use regular milk today. But like I said, typically I would use almond. You can pretty much use any milk that you want. Next, I'm going to add in some cocoa powder and then a little bit of creamy peanut butter. You can use Tbsp if you want. I've tried that before. I don't think it tastes as good as the regular peanut butter. And using the regular peanut butter still keeps this fairly low in points, so that's what I usually use. But like I said, Tbsp will definitely work too in this if you want to lower those points even more. Another plus to the regular peanut butter though is that extra fat that's in there and the creaminess of the peanut butter. It just adds extra creaminess to the ice cream, I think. So again, that's why I go with that one. Next, I'm going to add just a pinch of salt to this. You don't have to add this if you don't want, but I feel like it just kind of brings out the flavors of everything. And then sometimes I also add vanilla, which I forgot this time. So that's just kind of a nice little addition to this too. But that is all there is to this. You're just going to dump everything in and blend this up. I do usually have to stop it at least once or twice while I'm blending it though, because as you can see there's a big old chunk of banana. So I stop it, knock the stuff down, and then continue to blend. That's probably at least once or twice that I end up doing that. After blending it up for a couple of minutes, this is what you end up with. This stuff is so good, and as you can see there, it looks a whole lot like soft serve to me. And that's kind of what it tastes like too. It has got just a wonderful flavor to it. The consistency is great, as you can see there. Nice and smooth, just really good stuff. As I said before, this is a go-to for us. It's something that we really enjoy, and it's also something that I don't even really feel guilty eating because it is pretty healthy for you. You can either eat this right away when it's at that consistency that you see there, which like I said is a lot like soft serve, or you can stick this in your freezer and let it firm up a little bit, but to be honest, ours usually doesn't make it that far. This makes about 4 servings at 4 points a serving on all 3 colors, green, blue, and purple. And we usually eat this all pretty much as soon as it's made. So yeah, definitely one of our favorites and definitely one that I would recommend making. Next up is a classic that's just made a little bit lighter, and that is Rice Krispie treats. These start off with this Brummel and Brown real yogurt spread. Now you can use margarine, any type of a light butter spread that you want. This one is only 2 points for 2 tablespoons though, so that's why I like to use this one. Plus it's got a pretty good taste. So I start off with 4 tablespoons of this, and I just put this in a pan that I've got on a low heat, and I'm gonna just get that melting. Once that's all melted, I'm gonna add in 4 cups or 8 ounces of mini marshmallows. You can use whatever type of marshmallow you want. You just wanna be using 8 ounces of them. And then I'm going to just stir those until they completely melt and you've got some delicious ooey gooey goodness going on there. And you want to just keep stirring this so that it doesn't stick or burn or anything like that. But I do have this on a low heat, and you want to continue to have it on a low heat because you definitely want to do this kind of low and slow. You also want to have ready to go a greased 13x9 pan like I've got there. Now that this is all melted together, I'm going to add in a little bit of vanilla, just a splash or so for a little extra flavor. You could probably also add a little salt if you wanted. I sometimes do, sometimes don't. Then I'm going to just mix that in. And now I'm going to add in 6 cups of Rice Krispies. And I'm going to just stir this until it is all incorporated together. One thing I was going to say, I do know that you can buy the pre-made Rice Krispie treats, and I think the individual ones are 4 points a piece, which I do love, and I do buy those. But every once in a while, I just really am craving kind of the homemade Rice Krispie treats, which definitely has a different flavor, I think, anyway, than the store-bought ones. So I like to make these, and these are actually bigger than the store-bought ones ounce-wise. I think they're about twice as big. So that's why I like to make these. So next, you're going to take this and you're going to just press it into your prepared 13x9-inch pan. I just sprayed a little no-calorie cooking spray in mine. So you're going to just pour this in, and then you're going to just press it in. And one way to do this, because this stuff is really, really sticky, one way to do this without getting it stuck all to your hands is to take a little cooking spray and just kind of spray your hand with it and then press it down. You can also use a little bit of water too. Just some type of a liquid on your hand will help keep that from sticking to it. As you can see here, it is completely sticking to my hands right now. So I started just kind of smoothing it a little bit, and then I went back and sprayed a little cooking spray on my hand. Once I've got it all pressed down in that pan, I just take mine and put them in the fridge, and that seems to help them set up and just kind of stick together a whole lot better. If you leave them out room temperature, they don't ever seem to really set up that much. So like I said, I just stick mine in the fridge and they are good to go. And here they are. Now I cut mine into 12 servings at 5 points a serving on all 3 colors, green, blue, and purple. And I also made these with Cheerios. Thought I'd show you those too. I don't think they're as good, but they were still good. So I cut mine in 12, so you can do them in 16ths, and then they would only be 3 points apiece on all 3 colors. These are so good though, and I can't even tell that they are a lightened up version of the original, personally. They've just got a wonderful flavor and definitely hit the spot when I've got a sweet tooth. This last one is one that I love to make in the summertime, or just when the weather is getting warmer like it is right now, and that is for strawberry frozen yogurt sandwiches. Now these are kind of a take on an ice cream sandwich, and they are so yummy. I love these things. They're also really, really easy. So you're gonna start with some reduced fat graham crackers. I've got 4 of them there that I just laid on a piece of parchment paper in a pan. And then there in that bowl, I've got 2 cups of a fat-free vanilla Greek yogurt. And I'm gonna just add this entire tub, which is 8 ounces of fat-free whipped topping to that. And then I'm gonna just fold that all in together until it's all combined. Once I've got those 2 folded together, I'm gonna add in about 2 cups of chopped fresh strawberries. Now, I did not cut these up into small enough pieces. I was in a big hurry and didn't take the time to cut them as small as I normally would. So that kind of came to bite me later, but you wanna have pretty small pieces in this because otherwise it's not gonna be real easy to eat once this is all frozen. You can also puree the strawberries if you want. I've done that before too, and that works pretty well. But yeah, you definitely, if you're going to chop them, you want them a little smaller than what I did here. Once I've got those strawberries all folded in, I'm gonna take this mixture and I'm gonna just lay it on top of my graham crackers. And then I'm gonna just smooth it out. Now I'm gonna take another 4 graham crackers and I'm gonna lay those on top, trying to hopefully line them up with the ones on the bottom the best that I can, so that when I cut these, they do look like actual ice cream sandwiches. And now I'm gonna take a piece of saran wrap or plastic wrap. I'm gonna cover these up and I'm gonna put them in the freezer for a good 5 hours. What I ended up doing here was putting them in overnight because you want these to completely firm up. It's the next day and I took these out of the freezer. I let them thaw for a couple minutes just so that piece of wax paper would come out of the pan real easy. Pulled them out of the pan, and now I'm gonna cut these up into individual sandwiches. And a little tip to get these to cut easier, besides letting them defrost for a couple minutes or so, is to take your knife, run it under some hot water, and then that will cut these easier than if you did not. And here they are on a plate. These are so, so good. I just love these things. You do want to let them defrost, I would say probably a few minutes, maybe 5, before you try to eat them though. Just makes it a lot easier. They soften up a little better. But yeah, these are yummy, yummy stuff. And they are just 5 points a piece on the green, blue, and purple plan, which I think is pretty good because they're very satisfying too. Okay, I'm gonna have my hubby try one of these. They're not maybe as defrosted as would be good, but yeah, they're still little. Go think. They could definitely stand to be defrosted a little bit more. But how's the flavor?
Well, the flavor's really good. I mean, the frozen strawberries make it impossible to eat right now.
Yeah.
But it tastes like a really nice strawberry ice cream. And the graham crackers, you know, add that layer of, I don't know, it's a different type of sweetness. You know, where the strawberry's creamy, the graham cracker's light, and fluffy, and sweet. So it tastes really good. It actually tastes very similar to a traditional ice cream sandwich.
Yeah.
Just with, you know, frozen strawberries.
And they just need to be defrosted a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. And that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed these 3 yummy Weight Watcher desserts. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.